So we've got some clarity on some of these Red Dead Redemption leaks that have been going on.
Ooh, unfortunately, we got clarity.
Yeah, unfortunately, we got clarity. There was a banner that Rockstar had put up that said, Rockstar Games presents Red Dead Redemption. And of course, everybody was like, yes, we're getting a remake. It's getting out of the purgatory that is PlayStation 3, and we're going to be able to play this thing all over the place, and they're going to remaster it. This is going to be awesome. Red Dead, let's go. Nah, Doc. Not even close.
No, yikes.
Now, it is getting out of the PS3 purgatory. That is true. Jumping all the way to the PS4 and the Nintendo Switch natively. Why? I don't know. But they are bringing the game. Rockstar is bringing Red Dead Redemption, not a remaster.
No.
Just a port over to the PlayStation 4.
Yikes.
And it is going to come with the Undead Nightmare DLC for $50. Ooh. You could buy it on the PS4 and the Switch. And of course, you could play it on your PS5 if that makes you feel better, because PS5 plays PS4 games. But man, oh man, is this underwhelming for people that love Red Dead Redemption. Ed, I know that during the murmurings, there was a little bit of excitement about 4K Red Dead, stuff like this. How much of a bummer is this?
It's a little bit of a bummer. The only consolation is if you play it on the Xbox, because it kind of does that natural upscaling, you're pretty much going to be able to play it the same version that's currently already out on the Xbox. So, if you've got the Xbox, just get it over there. Don't.
And it's $30 on PS3, which why would you do that? It's going to be $50.
Ouch.
And there's no multiplayer.
Yeah.
On the PS4 Nintendo Switch version. I would have thought that they would have had no multiplayer on the Switch version, not on the PS4 version, but there's no I don't know.
It's such a bummer, and it almost dashes my hopes for a Red Dead 2 remaster for the current gen, because that's what I've been really wanting, is a reason to jump back into that again. But I mean, I've played this already.
Yeah, I know, and a long time ago.
Yeah, this exact same version of it. I've played
honestly,
already.
why wouldn't they just be working on a 3 then? Why are we going back? I mean, yes, the first one was janky, easy. But and it probably is easier to do that. But man, start a new story. Let's go.
I know. I don't know.
The reason that they're going back to it is because it was a very popular game, and by many people, it's considered one of the best stories ever told in gaming. That is one of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's supposedly
Did you play it, Chris?
No, I did not.
Yeah, me
wasn't really my jam. I'm familiar with it. I actually watched most of it on YouTube, and just like most Rockstar games, there's cool stuff in it and cool, it goes all kinds of different ways, and there's so many off the beaten path stories and things that you can do, but the way that the main narrative of it goes, especially for its time. I mean, I don't know how much this is said today in context of a lot of the games that we've gotten today, but for a long time, many people held to it being one of the best games story-wise ever kind of thing, Wow. So that's the reason that, just like the way that they're bringing out, now granted, you're getting several games for the price of what you're paying, but the Metal Gear collection that's about to come out, it's essentially just those games now playable on current hardware. There's nothing different about those either. Now, granted, they are working on a remake of 3 that will come out at some undetermined time later on. But all the versions of Metal Gear that are in this first Master Collection coming out in October, there's nothing new there. It's just the games as they were, but now playable here.
It's just, it's just weird to me, because you would have thought that, or I would have thought that, you could already play this on the PS4.
I thought you could too.
That's news to me that you couldn't.
Yeah, I thought you
so
could
the
too.
fact that it's being ported over, and we know that PS3's architecture was crazy, right? So maybe that's part of the reason that they had to do it like this.
Sure.
But man, oh man, that game came out it's not as long ago as the Metal Gear games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what makes a little bit more sense to me about those
Right.
games. This seems to be in the era of games you could just download it and play it. Because so you will be able to download this and play it next week, August 17th, I'm sorry. And then the physical version of it drops October 13th. So if you want to get the steel book or something,
I do think that they should have. I mean, I think you could maybe justify, and when I say you could justify it, I mean Rockstar could justify maybe $40, but $50 seems like a lot for
That is steep.
just Red Dead. Like now you can play it here, essentially. No modernization,
Yeah.
no upscaling, 4K textures, or no nothing. That seems a little steep to me.
And I don't
and it
know.
just-
I remember Red Dead 2, the physical version, and even GTA 5, the physical version came with a huge fold-out map.
Yes.
I don't know if
Oh,
the original
wow.
Red Dead did. I
don't
don't
recall
know if this
either.
new version's going to have it or not, but I wouldn't count on it.
Yeah, right.
it's just weird to be like, not quite twice the price, be the same game with one less, like with a couple less features of the
Yeah.
armor.
Right. And not even
It
like
just feels like a
changing
little bit-
it up, just like porting it over and be done with
Yeah,
it.
it just feels like a little bit of smack in the face when we've seen them do things where not Rockstar, but like we've seen things happen where it's like, hey, you gotta take the disc that you own, put it in your machine, and then you can download the new version.
Right.
Right.
Things like that. Kind of like they did with God of War and the Last of Us demo. You had to have the disc in your machine to be able to download that demo. So I don't know. It's interesting things between maybe Rockstar's been hanging out with Netflix and they're like, what are y'all gonna do? They're like, oh yeah, you go do something crazy, we go do something crazy too. Watch this.
Considering how many times Naughty Dog remade The Last of Us, you can't remake Red Dead once.
Yeah. In 13 years.
Right?
Yeah, they remade The Last of Us 8 times in 6 years.